the physical side, there's no way you're going to get round to start, the idyllic thing of reading books, sitting in the sunshine, and as I am at the moment. But most of my time is actually taken up with watching the soup and wondering whether it's going to rain and deciding what to put where when in terms of sleeping bag and all the rest of it. The actual intellectual bit doesn't happen very often. I don't care. It's somehow the idea of finding intellectual activity being linked with moments and places like this. But I think it's only in moments of tranquility, recollected, as Wordsworth pointed out, except that he used to wander around the hills and compose his poems. He never used to sit down at a desk. Discuss. The reasons for this trip, which are so difficult to get at, to record as a traveller and to create out of that record. Those seem obvious and honourable. To escape from something, possibly boredom, possibly not knowing what to do next. It's very hard to come at the reasons for this kind of trip. The way I'm doing it, it seems like a form of masochism in that my pack is just a bit heavier than I'd wish, but although today it seemed manageable, although still heavy, and that's a matter of what you can get used to. The definition for what I carry is that, well, certainly this time, that I should be able to survive without certainly the need for hotels, which are the major expense if you don't. Apart from the fact that at this time of year, even assuming that you know that there's going to be a hotel in a certain town open, they'll have rooms, so I've tried to keep the weight down to the minimum. PM, if necessary. Oh dear, the organisation, it was just sitting on the ground, actually trying to find what you want, a pen. You might have to go through the entire bag to find a pen, which means getting everything out. supper's cooked, but there are other things that you want to do. Enter a diary bit, Paul. And then there's a pear. You find a pear that's rotting. You get the bread out. That's smashed to pieces. Part of this is because I had to get up in a hurry this morning. So I just threw everything in. But it's happening all the time, every time I stop in a village, or where is this, where is that? It's always something different. If I was really efficient, I suppose I'd work out exactly what would be required for the following day. It never seems to work out like that. I mean, I actually do try, but it never seems to work out like that. Vespers, meadowsweet, and clover, and long grass blowing by my bedside, crickets in the hedge, in the last light, and over on the opposite hill, the vines, dark green, like files now. Topped by the darker green of woods. And away looking south. The few lights and the blue haze of the south. Probably the most relaxed I've been on the whole trip. Whether that's because I'm getting better at it or what, I don't know. I'm just lying here, propped up by my rucksack, looking down into the far distance of the plain. A few lights coming and going. I haven't even bothered to get into my special sack. I've got my sleeping bag over me. If it smashes down with rain, I suppose I'll be in trouble. I'm more or less organised, but I think also I've been more on top of it. On the walking side, although oddly enough I got the first blister today. The wine I bought yesterday evening down by the canal is delicious. From the little village that I never actually went to on the proper path. Light, but with a suggestion of some kind of fruit, which it's hard to put your finger on, cherries or red currants or something like that, but just a touch. I was just lying here like this, watching the beams of the car lights going down the road opposite. The lights in the distance. There's a nice breeze blowing, which makes me feel that I'm not going to get attacked by insects. My mind starts to wander back to, I don't know why, but the time I was in Cape Town with Dad. Went out for a meal one evening, somewhere he knew. Something he thought was quite good, I suppose. But I was being difficult at the time. There was a sort of fish restaurant, I remember that. I suppose maybe I'm reminded of this because we drove up, part way up the big hill outside Cape Town. To look back down on the town, the lights of the town. He was looking at the town for the perfect place from which to take a photograph. His relationship to me, mine to my boys. The sun was somewhere over beyond my feet, which point roughly southeast, I should think. And Tom too. Getting ready to fly back to England tomorrow. not early. Seems to bounce backwards and forwards across the sky. It's all around, but no release. Which is probably a good thing, because I can get drowned otherwise. Still humid and close. Oh. Monday, 24th of August. Wondering what to do next, where to go. It's absolutely pouring with rain. But I somehow don't want to stay here. I resent paying 90 francs for a room where I have to make my own bed, which has the feel of a youth hostel. And I have to be out by a certain time, and I can't come back before another time. To hell with that. I think I might go to Lyon. The other problem that I have is if I want to go back to the pilgrim's route, is how to get to Aumont-Aubrac without too much trouble. There's no direct line. All the lines run north and south. That's the trouble. I'll go up to the syndicat in a minute and see if I can get anything out of them. We've even got thunder and lightning now. It really is just about as bad as it could be. One blessing is the fact that I actually did take a room last night. There's people in the cafe were quite right to warn me to make sure I had somewhere to stay. It would have been real hell this morning if I'd been out there in this. It looks steady. It all looks set to rain all day. I don't want to have to move anywhere, but I do take objection to this place. It's very clean. It's fine. It's just the attitude. Lyon. It's not funny, really. I just seen a slogan painted on the wall: "Libérez Barbie," with a Nazi swastika. It had to be, even got a little generator going. Keep the whole thing on the road. Great mural on the end of this block of houses. Rue Tam. Lovely. Best I've seen, I think. And someone spoiled it by sticking an advertising hoarding on the bottom half of it. Well, bottom quarter. Having difficulty finding a hotel. I'm being very fussy. I'm in the area of the rag trade. I've never seen quite so much of it. Several streets, just one shop after another. Wholesale clothes, by the look of it. I suppose you can buy them separately. Also seen the word pub here twice now. Lyon's got a lot going for it. God, they've even got trolley buses in Lyon. I really am impressed with Lyon up to now. They're just small touches. I mean, there are a couple of lions here, which anywhere else wouldn't be functioning as fountains, but they are actually spouting water out of their mouths into small drinking trough beneath. And a neat little square here. Place Satonnet, this is. Nowhere special. Up behind me, a magnificent set of steps going up, back up the hill. Stone steps. And a beautiful border laid out very neatly with flowers. Two rivers. An island. Saône and the Rhone. Houses that actually face the river and don't ignore it, which so often happens in Britain. And then a nice sweep of roadway in front of the houses, right by the river. Just crossing over into the what's known as the Old Town, which is on the west bank, I think. And rises very sharply, very steeply to a large church on top, which is visible from most of Lyon. We've already had the thunderstorm tonight, only briefly, but fortunately I just found the hotel. Paying £10 with a shower. I could have had for 75, and I thought, well, for £2.50 extra, what? So what? Have the shower and a larger room. I'll probably stay tomorrow because there's certainly more to see than I've got time for here. I found a second-hand bookshop. He didn't have anything. He had popular volume in France, Thierry's Conquest of England by the Normans. But he also marked on my map about half a dozen other second-hand bookshops. Most of which were over on this side of the river in the old town. We'll see. If they're old town, I imagine this is touristique over here, but we'll see. Plenty of good little restaurants. or what seem to be good little restaurants. Especially up in the park where my hotel is. Not too expensive. Here we have the Conservatoire National Supérieur de Musique de Lyon. And someone has written underneath, Rock et vivant Louis! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Now that I don't need them, I'm seeing one or two hotels I wouldn't mind staying in. Well, I think it's Saturday today. I don't begin to lose track of days and dates, but Anne, Chris Martin, Suzanne and James, of course, were a family. There was a little drawing of them walking along. Good for them. It's a beautiful morning this morning. Last night, the other four people who were staying here in Shelley-Aubrac with me were the ones that I'd been following on horse. Of course, everyone's going back home now because it's the end of August, therefore it's in holidays. They lived in Brittany. But people from Brittany seem to come down this way. As I walked into town last night, about 3 or 4 children scampering up and down the road, and they were from Paris. Got to say again, this is really the most excellent gîte. It's just, there is nothing that it hasn't got. At the moment I'm trying to get packed up and on the way. I don't know how far we're going to get today, but I will see. About to leave the gîte in Saint-Chély. Sun shining. It's going to be a hot day, I think. Just leaving Saint-Chély-d'Aubrac. It's deep in this gorge. That's how I describe it anyway. There's a river rushing down below. Just found the best bar in town. Well, it's 10:30 now. I'm on my way out, but all the old soaks were there, sitting, saying nothing, looking wise. Hazelnuts strewing the ground. I'm back in a tunnel of hazel, working my way uphill now. I thought it was level going. zigzagging up the hill. And those horses are still above me. There's horse shit everywhere. I'm not surprised they start climbing this lot. Dappled sunlight, and still moving up out of this valley. And the horses are still ahead of me. The roofs are hipped, if that's the right word, like they are, curved, because of the snow. That's what they told me last night, anyway. And here beside the minorest of minor roads, a drinking trough. Eau potable? I don't know, but I'd certainly risk it if I was really thirsty. Moving up out of this valley through deciduous woodland, ash, oak, chestnut, and I can still hear the rush of the river down below. And over the other side of the valley, the rock, the bare rock, like the bare scalp, staring out every now and again. The four people last night bought me a loaf, a baguette, for this morning, which was nice of them. They were all teachers, so conversation was limited to a certain extent. I haven't yet met an out-and-out raver or lunatic, which is the advantage of the Ballymoe. Peter and Dave Bailey, I mean, as mad as you can get without going over the top. So I have always something to judge the parameters. I don't think this is wise. So is it supposed to be plunging down into the valley again, according to the sign? Oh, keep on the trail. Deep in woodland now, and there's the rushing torrents and beech leaves, and brown, tan brown, covering the path and everything round. Green moss on the trees, sunlight filtering through. This is a cathedral of beech. Beautiful. And not large beech as on the South Downs or anything like that. They're tall, straight, and are they beech? Just ask myself now, they just haven't got the girth of I think that's a beech leaf, all right. Oh, whether this has been maintained or not, I don't know. It must have been. But they're all dead straight. And yes, it has been maintained. They've lopped off all the branches until a certain height, 20 feet maybe. It's beautiful, beautiful to walk on. I'm walking on beech leaves now. Comme ça. Oh, yay. I've come a long way to get nowhere. Zigzagging round the hills, and there's Shelley just down below me. Damn. Oh dear. Oh dear. Dommage. The cows have a lovely sort of brown, dark brown, almost black circle around their eyes. And the girl had noticed that. It's good makeup. These Jersey-like cows that I keep seeing. It makes them look very attractive. I'm now right out of the gorge, stroke valley, and the sun's out. The meadows are covered in flowers. What can I see? Oh, I can't name them. The trouble is I can't name them. Is that red, yellow, purple, light pink, and the meadowland looking very lush here, which surprises me that it should be so green now. Harebells, meadowsweet, planta genista, and a road with pollarded something or other. I don't know what the hell that is. More of this beautiful tiled roofing. It's really superb. I'd like to have been around when they built it. Knowing the GR people, they'll drop me down into the valley again, only to make me climb out again. I should look at the map, probably. On the entrance to this barn, someone's put up a very presentable blue sign which says Téléphone Public. I just don't believe it. I mean, there's a trailer in front as well. I'll ask. Yeah, it's full of bales of hay. That's the place I was talking about that had all the tiled roofing. Beautiful. The roof beams must be oak, I suppose. Yeah. Dark, quiet, smelling of hay. Beautiful scent of hay. Cobwebbed. Agricultural church. Beautiful scent of mown grass drying. They probably cut it yesterday and it's just lying out to dry. They'll make hay with it, I think, for sure. Mm. These are like ash, the trees along the road here. The birds, I don't know. Twittering around. These beautiful, narrow, sunken little lanes that seem to be everywhere. It's like tunneling into the past. Hard to describe. And still probably the pilgrim's route. Now again the beautiful view to the west, which is beginning slowly to focus, and I can make out the ridges of certain hills, the yellow and gold of certain fields, but way to the west is that cloud, or is it a long low ridge? I don't know. I've more or less regained the height that I lost last night. This morning I'm probably not more than 2 or 3 miles from Saint-Chély, but I've been walking for nearly 2 hours now. 1.5 anyway. But the air is fresh. It's a beautiful day. God's in the heaven.